Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In the current Hearthstone meta I have really been missing Control Warlock. I have had a great time playing Control Warlock in several meta games, but the current meta just doesn't make playing Control Warlock very easy. I have tried with Deliciana, I have tried Handlock with Jaraxxus. Playing Jaraxxus into Zephrys doesn't feel very good, because Zephrys always gives Sacrificial Pact and then you just die. So, having a bit of a hard time with that. This is as good of a Control Warlock as I have been able to build so far, and it's not good enough. I had 50% win rate with this deck. Well, I suppose that means playable, even if it's not climbable, so if you have the cards and you're looking for some fun deck to play, then perhaps this can do something. This is a King Phaoris Control Warlock, so the wing condition is King Phaoris. And it's not necessarily just one copy of King Phaoris, because with Expired Merchants, discard your highest cost card, Death Rattle, add 2 copies of it to your hand. So you can discard King Phaoris, and you can add multiple copies of it to your hand. And then there's also Soul Warden, add 3 random cards you discard this game to your hand, so you can get even more copies of King Phaoris. So you can play quite a few copies of King Phaoris. Or if you're facing a deck that is completely reliant on building boards, like Druid is building multiple Nobi boards, if you play your King Phaoris very quickly as you get it, then you can get to a position where you can use Expired Merchant to discard Twisting Nethers. And then you can have a lot of Twisting Nethers. Or you can have a combination of the two, so that you can make King Phaoris summon more 8-drops, but have fewer King Phaoris boards overall. So that's the way the deck wins games. Obviously, you can also win games by defending. You have a lot of defensive tools in this one, starting from the Doomsayers and the Hellfires. There's also one copy of Shadow Flame. Shadow Flame can be nice. Sometimes you have to even sacrifice like a Mountain Giant to a Shadow Flame, but that's a pretty big board clear. Mountain Giant also gives you an opportunity sometimes to have an early threat. Sometimes it's just Shadow Flame tool. And I'm trying to put in as much heat can into this one. There's Rotten Apple Bombs, there's Kartuk Defenders, there's Celiacs, Double Siphon Souls. So everything that the deck does is it puts taunts on the way, it heals, it removes all sorts of threats, and then it has multiple copies of King Phaoris. Unfortunately, it looks like the archetype is a little bit too weak to succeed in the current meta, but it was a lot of fun to play. If you enjoyed this content, then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. And now, let's go take a look at King Phaoris Control Warlock in action. Probably keeping the coil. So, up against the warrior. I need to make as many King Phaorises as I can for this matchup. But it might still not be enough. But we'll see. Let's go. Warrior kept all the cards. Yeah, that's scary. That's scaring me. So I am under some pressure. I currently don't have a tool to activate the War Mage. Warrior's just putting up stuff constantly. Next turn he can also play Rush Minion, and he has a Rush Minion in hand because of the Town Crier. So that's a bit of a rough spot, obviously. Yeah, a bit of a rough spot indeed. Don't have anything really useful here. I have nothing to clear the board. If I were to spend the coin, I could draw some additional cards. But what do I do on 4 mana then? If I play the Doomsayer, it's guaranteed to be killed. It will take some of his effort though. So is that still acceptable? I think I need to Shadow Bolt the Sneap Snap. And maybe even coin Mortal Coil. Look for something more here. Try to reduce the board strength a little, maybe find a Hellfire. Overall looking pretty weak. Thanks, I'm glad that you have found them useful. I think this has got to be the Spellbreaker on this Reborn. Let's just take that away. But I can't really play the Expired Merchant because I really needed to get Phaoris from the Merchant in this matchup. I really needed that Phaoris from the Merchant. Oh boy, Plague of Flames doesn't do anything. I would have needed Hellfire probably. Not making any great strides here. We get the Apple Bomb down there, but the Warrior could have like a Shield Slam for it. It will still heal me a little bit. Warrior is unlikely to have silence, so maybe I can recover with the Apple Bomb, with the Cartuts. Slowly try to move on from here. We'll see. Clearly a Control Warrior, but playing very aggressively here. Well, at least he doesn't have any tool to... Oh, he sacrifices and I bought him that. Oh, I'm cool with that. That's so cool. I like that a lot. So now that I have seen a rush minion, maybe I can afford to play Doomsayer on this board this turn. Maybe I can afford to tap and play Doomsayer. See what the Warrior is going to do about that one. Okay, so far so good. I can ooze away the Super Collider too. Hi Tobikai, we're playing King Phaoris Control Warlock. At least a little bit. Maybe not much. We'll see. Because this might not be very good in the long term. So if I tap, I will have 5 mana and the Mountain Giant will cost 3. Then I can play Mountain Giant Ooze. Warrior doesn't have a lot of cards. He might have a Shield Slam though. I think it's worth trying. Let's play Mountain Giant Ooze here. Take away that Super Collider for now. Actually develop a minion. But there could of course be a Shield Slam. Well, that was not a Shield Slam. That's a piece of good news. Can I afford to tap again? 9 cards in hand. I go pretty low, but I think I can afford to tap because Warrior does not have any silence effects. Well, now I would have the option to Shadow Bolt the Dino Medic, but I think it's still better to play the Cartut here. I think this is better insurance against another Dino Medic, because if I Shadow Bolt this, then another Dino Medic could kill the Giant. Turn 9 Dr. Boom. Not bad, not bad. Still haven't found the Phaoris. My hand is full, I need to play some stuff. Well, I could play another card out there, I think. Let's coil this one first. Another War Mage, but I still haven't found any of the expensive spells there are 4 in the deck. I think another card is fine here. These are pushing 11 to the face. Currently I'm getting a Godfrey if I play the Merchant. But I don't want the Godfrey, I want my Phaoris. Yeah. Omega Devastator, always a nice minion. But I do get a bunch of healing from these, so it's not too bad. There's a Twisting Nether, but I need Phaoris and not Twisting Nether. I have the option to play like double War Mage here, of course. I need to find my Phaoris, then I need to duplicate my Phaoris, and then I need to start playing out those Phaorises. That is the plan. Warpaths and everything are so good here. But I guess I still go with the double War Mage line. He can have the Rush minion. So many things he can have. I think double War Mage is fine. Let's double War Mage. Use that to hit face. We try this approach here. Did you consider Jaraxxus? I have played with Jaraxxus, yes, but there are way too many Highlander decks with Zephyrus. Jaraxxus is not viable at the moment. You cannot play with Jaraxxus because there's too many Zephyruses. And Zephyrus always gives Sacrificial Pact and Jaraxxus dies. And Elysiana is useless in Warlock, because Warlock doesn't currently have the amount of healing that it would take to go for that very long game, so you cannot play with Elysiana. It's just a completely dead card in the archetype or in the class. You have to win before it gets to that point. There is no option to play with Elysiana in Warlock. I have played with both actually, but both are completely useless in the current expansion. I need to get rid of cards, and I would need to find my Phaoris, because it's the multiple Phaoris boards that can beat the warrior. But if Phaoris is at the bottom, then I will of course lose, because I will die to fatigue. I'm going to have to tap. Still can't really do anything. Guess I'll play the Celiacs out there. Let's see. Okay. Here comes the Omega Assembly. Well, at least it is in its nerfed form. Some upside there. Did I get a bit of healing from this? That's good. Let's discover mechs. That's annoying. Oh dear, oh dear. Phaoris is in the bottom 7 cards. This is terrible right now. A couple of Hellfires too, all sorts of stuff that I really don't want to have there. What can you do? I think I'm going for the Mountain Giant. 9 cards in hand, 7 cards in deck. I do need to tap. I need to get closer to those key cards. Well, now I would have the Hellfire available. I guess I can go with Apple Bomb. I think this is probably okay. Need to get rid of cards in hand in order to have space for the Phaoris copies. Then I need to make those Phaoris copies and start jamming those Phaorises on the board. That's what I have to do. But it's uncertain when I can actually get to a position where I can effectively accomplish that. And if Phaoris is the last card, I will inevitably lose, because Warlock cannot deal with fatigue. So that's a sad thing, but just something that happens. Okay, so now he's going to get a bunch of trees on... bunch of 1/1s on the board. 5 cards left and Phaoris is there. And this is a Godfrey turn. This is a Godfrey turn so that I can clear this up. I can't afford to tap right now. But I have to find the Phaoris. 5 cards left. Phaoris is still there. It might be that I go to fatigue too quickly and I cannot win this because of that. That's completely possible at the moment. Because Phaoris has to come. It just has to. But it doesn't. If I kill off that mech. 9 cards in hand, 4 cards in deck. Can I afford to tap for the Phaoris? I might not be able to afford that. Maybe I just need to play a Doomsayer here. No, I have to tap for Phaoris. Phaoris in the bottom 3. Well, this is the type of way that you can lose. Because unfortunately you cannot build any contingency into this deck. It's not possible. Phaoris has to be somewhere a little bit closer to the top than this. Soon I will have to start using Twisting Nethers, which will make Phaoris weaker. I have like Merchant, Plague of Flames, kill 2 minions. Okay, well, now I lost. I still had a 50% chance here, but no, that's a loss. Maybe I can try to keep Mountain Giant if I get to pressure, and Hellfire if I don't. I even had a 50% chance when the Hecklebot arrived. But no, lost that roll too. So, not a Quest Paladin because he didn't keep the leftmost card. He kept 2 cards, so if it's Murloc Paladin he should have a Prismatic Lens. Why would you ever run that card in a deck though? That I do not understand. That I just don't understand. I think I just need to tap here. Get some more cards. He's very unlikely to coin a Cold Light Seer this turn. Might coin a Grimscale Oracle. Yeah, okay. Ouch, ouch. Can I afford to tap again? Maybe. Well, I can Mortal Coil the Grimscale Oracle. That removes 3 power from the board. And future buffs. This is probably not a real Mountain Giant. Not a real Mountain Giant game. There's still a card that he kept, so that should be a Prismatic Lens. I think I will tap one more time. Even though my health total is getting a little low. But I have some healing in hand. So he did not keep a Prismatic Lens. Okay. That's a piece of good news, I suppose. Mountain Giant is a little bit slow here. So I'm going to have to Hellfire this board. Now if he has been able to find a Prismatic Lens, this can become a problem. If he can play Prismatic Lens this turn and get a big board next turn. Okay. There could be a Leroy, potential Leroy lethal here. But it's unlikely that he would have silence. So Rotten Apple Bomb should be able to stop it. No Prismatic Lens. So none of these cards is a Prismatic Lens. There was the potential Leroy lethal. Although this time it was a top deck Leroy and not a Leroy from hand. And can he have more chargers? Well, he could have a Bluegill Warrior. He could have a Zepris. But it's not active. He's not running a singleton deck. So I don't have to play a Taunt Minion this turn, right? I mean, I could play a Mountain Giant. Or I could of course play the Rotten Apple Bomb. Depending on how careful do I think I have to be. These are always going face, of course. But the Blue Jill... Is there some kind of grand plan there? I'll play it safe, because I'm just so confused about that Leroy play. He did have a Prismatic Lens the whole time, he just didn't want to play it. That's intriguing. Okay. I should be fine here, right? There's only one Charge Murloc remaining. I can play Mountain Giant this turn. Mountain Giant here is fine. Let's play that. I still have a Taunt Minion. He's unlikely to have a silence effect. He's going to play Tip the Scales this turn, obviously. But if he doesn't pull a Charge Murloc, then none of these Murlocs are going to actually hit my stuff. These are going to draw a lot more Murlocs though. Which is somewhat annoying. I mean, I have the option to Shadow Flame my Apple Bomb. That's one way to deal with this board. Then he can use the weapon to hit me in the face. I will go up to 11. He can push me back down to 7. Even further with Bluegill, then he might have some kind of Zepris lethal. But I do have to use a Shadow Flame this turn. So do I Shadow Flame a Giant then? Maybe I actually Shadow Flame a Giant. I mean, I don't have lethal here, but I suppose I have to Shadow Flame a Giant. Let's play a Giant and Shadow Flame that. He gets a bunch of Murlocs, but I saw both Toxfins, so there's no hard removal. Even if there's a Bluegill Warrior. I've already seen the Leroy, so he shouldn't have way to deal 11 damage here. Even if he has Bluegill and Zepris and he gets a Fireball, that's just 10. That wouldn't be enough. And he's obviously down to just 6. So how is he going to survive? Yeah, this is not a way to survive. This means that you're just very, very dead. How? I don't know why. Well, I do actually know why. Because we're playing a control deck. And that means that your opponents have time to do all of their broken things. And there are so many RNG rolls in every game now. There are like tens of RNG rolls. And when you're playing a control deck against those RNG rolls, they get to do all the rolls, and then eventually those really stupid things will happen. It's very sad, of course, but it's the name of the game. Well, here I have the option to play Mountain Giant next turn. Interesting MC tech. Well, I'm playing the Mountain Giant. What are you going to do about that? He might have a solution. He has a Lackey. Lackey and Wasp. It has to be the 2 damage Lackey though. Rush Lackey isn't enough. So there's one Lackey that can kill the Mountain Giant here. I guess that's not too bad either though. Because the Mountain Giant going down to 2 health means that then there will be multiple other options that he can use to kill it. And going to 2, I guess it will. I mean, I could kill this one and punch Mountain Giant in the face, but I think Mountain Giant is going to 2 and I'm cleaning up the board. And see if he has 2 damage. Because he doesn't necessarily. I can Mortal Coil this one. I can Shadow Bolt that one. And then the Mountain Giant kills the Mind Control tech. Now it's vulnerable. But he currently has no lackeys in hand. He hasn't completed the quest yet, so he can't get the AoE damage here. But of course, things can start happening soon. Next turn he can do the double AoE. And kill my beautiful Mountain Giant. Sad times, sad times. I believe I'm killing that one and the Mountain Giant goes face, but we'll see. I wasn't able to push quite as much as I hoped I would. Now he should have an answer to deal 2 damage. All he needs is the Elemental. AoE Elemental, he's only 11 cards into his deck. But he could like double the Battle Cries, play the Novice Engineer, get 2 more draws, and he can still play the Elemental if he gets it. So even if he doesn't have the Elemental now, he can still improve his odds of finding it. Like this. He actually did draw it. That actually happened. I'm not very vulnerable to AoE in general. So I think I can afford to just tap and hit with the War Mage. I think this is acceptable. Challenge the Shaman's life total a little bit more. But Shaman has a lot of reach. I mean, there's still both life drinkers and obviously the Shadowbook at some point. I'm trying to be a little bit proactive. Maybe I can get the Phaoris out there. I've already seen one Mind Control tech. So Mind Control tech is probably only coming out of the... Shadowbook. Not the greatest thing ever, this line now. We need to siphon all the Sandstone Elemental here. Just push face damage. I play Doomsayer out there. I play Doomsayer, he hits face, waits, but what about my turn 9? My turn 9 isn't very strong. I think Doomsayer's still fine here. Let's do the Doomsayer. He might have another Mind Control deck, and he might have Shadowbook, of course, in the near future. Maybe he even has a way to kill the Doomsayer. Although that would be slightly surprising, considering that he currently has no lackeys. But he might be able to find some lackeys. Well, that does put a lot of pressure on me. I mean, I have the option to play Mountain Giant and Apple Bomb. And I think that looks pretty good. Tapping first wouldn't allow me to play Apple Bomb anymore. So this is Mountain Giant, Apple Bomb. Let's do these. Phaoris currently gives me an 8-drop, 6-drop and a 4-drop. There is a chance that there's another Mind Control tech. And then I have to choose, do I try to play around another Mind Control tech? Do I not try to play around that? It's probably going to be a doubled Mind Control tech. I currently have not discarded anything, so I don't have more copies of Phaoris coming. I haven't found an expired merchant. I really would have loved to find one. Unfortunately, I haven't. Because just removing Shaman's stuff is not going to be enough. Shaman has too much reach. Shadowwalk gives him so many lackeys, then he's just going to double up those lackey battle cries and shoot me in the face a lot. So I believe I have to kill the Shaman. I think I have to take the chance with the Mind Control deck for next turn. But that's a lot of spells. That's 4 random spells, all discovered spells, but anyway. So that can be really painful. Okay. Well, why did you do that? That one I don't understand. He's used both box sloshers. Why did he kill off all his lackeys? I'm going to get 4 minions from Phaoris now. Well, if there's a double Mind Control tech, there's a double Mind Control tech. No space for the Hogger. Alright, well, I'm punching him in the punches. Let's see what happens here. Alright, I've seen one Mind Control tech spent. He has 8 mana, because he overloaded himself, so he cannot play Shadowwalk. I don't think he can deal 13 to the face. He has 3 discovered spells. If he goes for double Mind Control tech, that's really unlikely to help him a lot.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.